Welcome everyone to an arena video. This is Andrea Mengucci. This video is sponsored to you by channelfireball.com and Ultimate Guard. Hello everybody and welcome to a new YouTube video where I won't get into any gameplay but just kind of share my thoughts about what are the best decks to bring in the standard best of one events that will happen tomorrow for me. That is the Arena Open, where you can play day one best of one, and then day two, if you qualify with 7 wins, you have to play best of 3. But for most people, usually, for example, for me, I usually play best of 3. So whenever I have to approach best of 1, this is just very much different. So for those people that mostly play best of 3, this video can be targeted at them. Well, the first thing that I think it's important to get through is that the Iron's Epiphany Goldspan Dragon strategy, I think, struggles a little bit more in best of 3. This is one of my lists that I've decided to build, kind of targeting the more aggressive decks because of the algorithm, the fact that you don't have a sideboard to kind of like take out your counters, but you can't really play too many counterspell in the main. As a result, you can't really like control very well because what if you just get on the dragon's mono white, So the deck that I have decided to kind of take in the more expressive iterations Motoring Egg was Lear strategy. Although this deck didn't do very well. I am not in love with the Izzet strategy, and this isn't what I would advertise it to play. I don't think that Iron's Epiphany is the card to play in the best of one queues. Of course, you can still win. It's a powerful deck, but I would go more towards, green, white, or we're gonna see mono black control. Mono green aggro is for sure a very valuable strategy. This is a list that Reduke wrote about and tested a lot, and it's playing with 3 unnatural growth. While maybe this sounds a little bit extreme, I do believe that unnatural growth just makes so that every threat you have is a trump. And I love this card, unnatural growth, and especially in BO1, where I expect to see less Goldspan Dragon. I don't think there is need for Bran N7, which is the other kind of way to go if you want to play mono green. Another deck that you might play, and that most people say it's the best deck in the format, is White Weenie. And I do believe that, but you have to change the list a lot, I think, from the one that you're used to play in BO3. And as you can see, this is my list, and I'm playing with 3 Skyclave Evaporation, 3 Brutal Cathar. That is very much geared against the creature decks that I'm expecting plentiful. So that's why you see kind of a weird number, right? 3-3-3-2. It's strange, but I believe that you don't want you don't want Elite Spellbinder. All of the Skyclave, you don't want too many copies of because you don't want to be stumbled with them in end, especially if you're on the draw. There is a very important concept in Magic lately that is build your deck as if you're always on the draw, because whenever you're on the play, you have an edge, especially in best of one. You naturally have an edge. The variance in Magic in best of one is higher because of the die roll, of course. So I believe that you have to build your deck as if you're on the draw every time. So this is why you see me with Portable Hole already in the main deck. The creature 1-drop, I'm playing Battlefield Raptor, and while again doesn't seem like a powerful card in standard, it has First Strike. And again, with just 1 counter that you can put it on with Luminar Caster or the +1/+1 from Interpret Adversary, this becomes a very reasonable blocker. And again, I need that because it's best of 1 and I want to build my deck as if I'm on the draw. Monk of the Open End is kind of like sometimes a 1-mana 2/2 on turn 3, and that's I think good enough. You could play Stonebinder's Familiar. That is definitely a valuable choice, but without Elite Spellbinder, I think that Stonebinder's Familiar is slightly better. Don't get me wrong, you still have plentiful of Exilement with Sacred Operation and Brutal Cathar. I just believe that these 2 are slightly better. So this is my White Weenie list. And finally, it's Mono Black Control. This is a deck that I have seen take play a lot at the early of the season. It kind of fade away because, Iron's Epiphany and Izzet deck took over the format, so you can't play a mono black control strategy like this. But I think in best of one you can, because the Izzet deck aren't as good as they are in BO3, and this deck is really, really powerful against mono white. What happened was I was playing mono white, crushing everybody, and then I got paired against mono black, and I lost. It wasn't even close. So I'm like, maybe this is actually the best deck to play. You have Shambling Ghast, Twitch. They're not very impressive, but they do trade with some cards and give you something bad. Same for the specimens. You have Sweepers. You have Graveyard Trespasser. This is another card that really it's just good. It's like reasonable stats. You gain life. It has ward. Discard a card, meaning that you can just 1-for-1 it with a Cathartic Pyre and gain some life, which again it's quite important. Palki seems strange, but I actually casted Tibalt more often than not, thanks to Deadly Dispute and Shambling Ghast. That might not seem like a big deal, but you do have you can also just cast it for the front side. So this card, I think it's quite strong. This list comes from Gregor Kowalski, who built this initially to beat Mono Green in best of 3. I think this list is also strong in BO1. And if you're comfortable in playing a control deck, this is definitely a deck right up my alley. If you want to download this deck immediately, you can do that going to my untap.gg profile that you can find on the show notes, on the descriptions. There's Mono Black Control. There's Why Weenie. The Izzet Lear that I didn't really suggest you to play, and then it's Mono Green Aggro. Those are the decks that you can click. And yes, that is my kind of overview of the best of one format. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you can like and subscribe, and you can tell me your option too. Maybe if you have a better take on the Izzet, definitely welcome to write in the comments. And good luck this weekend.